All right. We back, man. This is part 3, man. Let's get it in. All right. So, what I was talking about before was actually if I was a president, I give anybody that had the crabs in the barrel mentality, I'm giving them 15 years off rip. And let me tell you exactly how I would actually do it. First 3 years, you have to actually learn the history of our people and what our people have sacrificed for. Kings and queens and the Moors of Spain, El Andalus, all right? Rosa Parks, right? Sacrificing everything, said, no, I'm not going to the back of the bus, okay? If it wasn't for Rosa Parks, we probably would still be sitting at the back of the bus, right? Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and you can take it back way further than that. Mali, Timbuktu, right? The contributions that our people, Big Ben, how's it going, fellas? The contributions that our people have actually made so things can actually be better for us, right? And so you have to memorize all of this information within a matter of 3 years that you're actually serving, right? When your 3 years is up, because initially you got 15, but the 3 years is up. After your 3 years, 3 years is up, right? You're brought to court. If you can do 2 things, I'll let you free. And I'll throw the other 12 years out. What are those 2 things? The first thing I already mentioned. You have to reiterate in front of the whole court the information that you have studied for those 3 years about the history of your people, right? Number 1. Number 2. And the reason why, so you can go back in the neighborhood where you were a crab in a barrel and you were actually manifesting the traits of the crabs in a barrel, and you will go back to them and you will educate the same people that you pulled down, right? Empower the people that you broke. That's how it works. The same people that you broke, you go back to the hood and you empower them. All right, so that's the first thing. That's not it. There's one more. The second thing is you have to sign a contract. You have to sign a contract that you will support at least 5 black-owned businesses. 5 black-owned businesses a month for the rest of your life. You can do it. You can support 5 black-owned businesses a month for 10 years. If you skip 1 month, you still got to serve the remaining of that 5 years, because guess what? You supported for 10 years, but you skipped a month. Guess what happened? You got to serve the rest of the 12. You got 2 more years to serve, because I was going to throw the 12 out, right? So you can't miss a payment, right? I'm going to force you to spend money with your people. And that's what you got to do with our people a lot of times. You got to give these people consequences, man. Black people, if you don't give them consequences, they're going to keep doing the same exact thing. Same exact thing. Because guess what? Nobody's holding them to the fire. Nobody is holding them accountable. So they're able to do, look what happened to the kids that don't get whippings nowadays. What happened? They rough out in the streets. A lot of times you can tell the kid that actually got good whoopings. They act like it. They say, oh man, you know what, man, I can't do that right there. My mama gave me good whoopings back in the day, man. You know what, I still can remember them whoopings still to this day. I'm straight, man. I don't get down like that, man. I don't do stuff like that. That's wrong, man. That goes against my morale. You see what I'm saying? So, if he do those things, then I'll throw the 12 years out. If he can't sign a contract, he got to serve the whole entire 12 years. No remorse. No second chances. Do your whole 15 years. And then after the 15 years, if you come back out and you do the same exact thing, this time I'm giving you life. This time I'm giving you life. But of course, I still will allow your kids to come and see you. I still will allow your kids to come and see you. But your kids will learn a lesson that this is not how a black man supposed to be to his people. For one, this is not how a black man who is a father supposed to be as a role model to his sons and his daughters. This is not how he's supposed to be. You being in prison for being a crabs in a barrel mentality. I mean, you've been in prison for having a crabs in a barrel mentality, and you've been a barrier for your people excelling, right? That will stain you for the rest of your life. But the reason why we don't see it is because guess what? Nobody's holding these guys to account. Look at that, man. That's a traffic light. Look at that traffic light right there. You see that? Why is that traffic light right there? The traffic light is there so there would be no accidents. You follow me? Just imagine if there was no traffic light, right? If there was no traffic light, just imagine how many accidents there will be. Just imagine how many deaths there will be. And that's if this car, and that's if they would have, if there was a such thing as insurance. Because they probably say, okay, well, the accidents are so high, the insurance rates is going to be sky high, so we got to get our money. So we might not even, we shouldn't even have car insurance because people are not going to pay it anyway. It's too high. You see? Consequences, man. Consequences. You see? And now, so if you don't spend money with your people, if I was a president, I'll penalize you for that. I already know what black people saying. I can listen to your conversation without listening to your conversation. I can listen to your conversation without listening to your conversation through the phone. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying to yourself. Professor Smellgood lost his mind, man. How he gonna penalize a person for not spending their money where they want to spend their money, where they should spend their money? How you gonna penalize somebody? You can do whatever you want to do with your money. It's your money. That's the thinking that we have. They say it's my money. I can do whatever I want to do with my money. It's my money. How are you going to tell me what to do with my money? Let me show you something. Let me prove to you how wrong you are. How toxic that thinking is. That money that you got, that ain't your money. That ain't your money. I don't care if the check got your name on it. That ain't really your money. That money has obligations on it that you're supposed to put back into the community. Why? Because your ancestors that shed their blood, sweat, and tears and sacrificed their mental health just to get you to the point where you can actually vote, just to get you to the point where you can actually work at a job with white people and mixed race people without no segregation, and not be in the field picking cotton. So don't tell me, oh, it's my money. No, it ain't your money. It's not your money. You got obligations on that money. If it wasn't for our ancestors that sacrificed things, blood, sweat, and tears, right? And stood up, Rosa Parks, they refused to sit at the back of the bus. If it wasn't for that, we would still be sitting at the back of the bus, still to this day. If it wasn't for things like that, if it wasn't for things like that, you wouldn't even be working a 9 to 5 right now, because you still be in the field picking cotton, getting crumbs off the table from the master. You feel me? Come on, man. Let's get with it, man. It ain't your money. And if you really want to be technical, child support. If you don't make the child support payment and you got a bank account, guess what? If you are too deep in the rear, you know what happens? That money that you owe, they take that out of your bank account. So how is your money if you can't control who's taking it? It ain't your money. Another thing, to prove to you that it's not your money. If you owe IRS, they can find a way to take that money from you, even from your check. What you gonna say? No, that's my money. They don't want to hear that. That's their money, because you owe them. You see, it ain't your money. You see what I'm saying? So you can lick it. So you can miss me with that. Oh, it's my money. No, it ain't your money. That's what you call a selfish Negro who think like that. It ain't your money. The money that I got in my pocket, it ain't really my money. I got obligations on that. My son needs shoes. I got to buy it for him, right? Right? There's people out here on the street. There's a man who got a business. He started the business. He's walking up the street. He's selling candy. I don't eat candy because I got to watch my diet. But I say, you know what? Hey, man, let me get two. You have a right that $2 in my pocket, $3, $4, $5 in my pocket, I have to spend with you. Why? So you can keep the cycle going and your business can expand. So perhaps one day if my son don't want to have his own business, he can work for you. He can work for somebody that look just like him or look just like me. You see how that works? Come on, man. Get with the program, man. We got obligations. That's the reason why white people, they go all out of their way to support white businesses. Look, this is a predominantly Yemeni community, right? Grocery store right there, owned by an Arab. Been there for 11 years now, right? Gas station right there. Sunoco, owned by Yemenis, right? Right there. Place called, and the grocery store been there for the past 8 or 9 years, owned by Yemenis. Sheba's restaurant, owned by Yemenis, right? Right across the street. No, right beside it actually. And they don't even compete with each other. They spread the love. Yemenis. Yemeni Cafe, owned by Yemenis. They actually expanded. I remember when they was across the street. There was a small little place in the wall, right? They expanded. Now they're across the street. They got a bigger building, right? Yemenis, they went there and support them. Let's go over here. It used to be right beside the Metro PCS right there. Right beside the Metro PCS right there is Dollar General right here. Right there, right beside it, there's Metro PCS. Right beside the Metro PCS used to be a McDonald's. McDonald's closed down. Why? Because Yemenis do not support anybody outside of their race. If they're hungry, they go to where? That place right there. Sheba and Yemeni Cafe, they got Middle Eastern food. McDonald's closed down. Right down the street. Right down the street, there used to be a Wendy's. Wendy's closed down. Yemenis didn't support it. Bengalis didn't support it. Right over on the very next main street, it's called Bangladesh Avenue. Bengalis people, they took over that whole entire area, right? And they renamed the whole block. It's called Bangladesh Avenue, right? And all from their area, all the way back, is owned by Bengalis, and it's their businesses, and they support each other. Group economics. And they've been doing that for a long time. That's why their business has been open ever since they started. It's a sister named Nafisa, got an oil shop. They had an oil shop out here. It was called Islamic Bargain. She closed down, I think within like 6 or 7 months, because Bengalis and Yemenis, they're not gonna spend money with her because she black. And our black brothers, Muslim brothers, they knew about the sister. They didn't come to support. The sister business closed down. She was the only black-owned business in this area, and that closed down. While everybody else, Yemenis, Bengalis, that open up a business out here, they still thriving. Over here, look at this place, Haramain. Al Haramain International Food. This is a supermarket, right? This is a supermarket, which is a bigger version. They got a bigger variety, right? They actually came from over there. Haramain over there, I got the inside information. Some of the brothers, some brothers told me information about what they was making. Them guys over there, Haramain, they over there. They got a location here and they got a new one here. This is making more money than that one. Over there, they was making like $9,000 a day, owned by Yemenis. Right across the street, Royal Kebab, owned by Yemenis. They make like $10,000 a day. Middle Eastern food, man. They got an extra franchise right here, Haramain, right across the street, right here. Allah knows best, God knows best what they're making over there. They're probably making cake because it's always busy in there. They got another location. Detroit Donut, owned by Bengalis, but Yemenis got connections to that, right? Man, I can go on and on about this. Us black people, what we do? We got a business, right? We bring it in the community. What happens? Business closed down within 6 months to a year. Why? Because Negroes don't want to support. I don't say the N-word, but I'm just using that so you can know what I'm talking about. Negroes do not want to support. Why? Because they don't want to see people excel. Look, that's the reason why they got the stuff they got. Man, I've seen guys out here 14, 15, no, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. They ride nice cars, man, 2019 cars. Some of them paid off. Why? They got the money for that. Why? Because their parents got businesses.